Hello and welcome to day 58 of 73. And today I wanted to talk about validation. I remember growing up, I would be what you would classify as, I wouldn't say teacher's pet, but I found a lot of value in terms of what exactly it was that the educator wanted, and I wanted to curate whatever response that I gave or whatever results that I put forth as, oh, it moved, as the gauge for which I would glean off of how well I'm doing or how I would need to shift and adjust my next actions. And it worked because school and the system is very linear in terms of what it is that you need to do. So you start off at a certain grade, you're able to progress through the ranks depending on not only what you're able to show as a result, but also logically speaking, you can be able to follow and understand that after A comes B comes C, and then subsequently the other letters. But what I found is on my particular journey, as far as self improvement is concerned, as far as being very mindful of the work that I'm doing in this particular journey, that it has been a situation where the validation hasn't been something that I've sought externally. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that in more cases than not, I'm now starting to feel more comfortable in understanding that the difficulty or the effort in and of itself is essentially what I need to tell me that I'm on the right path, that ultimately things are going to be able to sort themselves out if I'm able to stay the course and be present and be very mindful of the fact that I am the only person that I need to be accountable to when it comes to that particular journey, because I am also the only person who knows what stage I am at and where I have ultimately come from. Now, I think it's very easy and I would say natural to begin most of these kinds of processes by seeking external validation in the sense of you want to be able to prove as soon as possible that whatever you're doing is having a good effect ultimately from an external standpoint. And it's natural, and I believe that was the case with me as well, to stop and check to see if there are any signs or signals in the outside world that are now going to essentially validate what you're doing, whether it is healthier relationships off the jump or whether it is a stronger reception from people or specific events. But what I found is the moment that I was comfortable enough to detach from that need to get an immediate feedback, that's essentially when I felt a lot more improvement and felt a lot more strength coming from the actual journey itself. I understand now more than ever that as long as I am able to ground myself and understand where it is exactly that I'm coming from and where I'm going to, then there's very little need for me to, I would say, justify or seek that validation from an external standpoint. And that's kind of hard to shift to, especially if, like me, you're someone who did grow up knowing and understanding that certain things are linear and they have a logical step moving forward. Sometimes it's going to be you making leaps and bounds of progress and then maybe having a setback and having to regroup and come back again the next day and try again with all the effort and intention that you would have had at the beginning. But I think once you make peace with the fact that this is as fluid as it can get, and the only thing that you can be able to control is your present moment, then your validation is simply your own. It's simply being able to show yourself how prepared you are at any moment to be comfortable with that discomfort. So, yeah, food for thought. Thank you for your time. My camera shifted randomly at the beginning, so I hope this angle works. Take care.